Well, a controversial reinterment ceremony dominating the headlines in Havana today.
The bodies of two of Cuba's most revered heroes dug up and moved to be close to the graves of Fidel Castro and Jose Marti. Local 10's Hatzel Vela reports exclusively from Havana.
It is a national holiday here in Cuba. It's the day the Cubans used to remember the start of the independence war 149 years ago. On the other side of the island, in Santiago de Cuba, they held a ceremony for a special occasion. It took place at the Santa Ifigenia Cemetery, where you'll find the remains of Cuban national hero Jose Marti and now former President Fidel Castro. The Cuban government decided to move the remains of Carlos Manuel de Céspedes and Mariana Grajales closer to those of Castro and Marti as a way to make them more accessible to the Cuban people, they say. Céspedes is considered the father of the country, who on this day freed his slaves and made the declaration of Cuban independence. Grajales is a Cuban icon for women's struggle and the mother of Antonio Maceo, another War of Independence hero. The ceremony was broadcast live on Cuban state-run television. Current President Raúl Castro was there, in charge of carrying the Céspedes remains to his new tomb. Independent press 14 Medio reports the transferring of the remains was kept secret for months, headed by the same officials in charge of finding and returning the remains of Ernesto Che Guevara back to Cuba. They also report some of the descendants of the national heroes were never told this was happening. The historically significant cemetery remains one of the most visited places in Santiago de Cuba. I'm Hatzel Vela, Local 10 News, Havana.